In a small town shrouded by dense forests and rolling mist, life appeared ordinary. Yet, beneath the tranquil surface lay a hidden world of secrets. One boy, carrying an unusual burden, unknowingly walked the thin line between normalcy and danger. He wasn't like everyone else. His eyes saw things that others could not, shadows that writhed and shifted in unnatural ways. These weren't ordinary shadows. They were alive. For years, he'd ignored them, pretending they didn't exist. But one fateful encounter would force him to confront a truth he could no longer run from. It began like any other day. He strolled to school, the warm sun breaking through the early morning mist. Yet, something was different. The air felt heavy, as if an unseen force was watching him. While cutting through a quiet park, a sudden chill ran down his spine. He turned, his eyes widening. Before him loomed a creature unlike anything he had ever seen. A shadowy beast, its form twisted and unnerving. Instinct told him to flee, but his legs refused to move. Just as the creature lunged, a blur of motion intercepted it. The figure of a girl emerged, wielding a weapon that shimmered in the sunlight. "Stay back!" she shouted, her voice sharp and commanding. With a swift motion, she struck the creature, dispersing it into wisps of darkness. He stared at her in disbelief. Who was she, and how did she know about these shadows? The girl didn't waste time with introductions. "You've been marked," she said, her gaze unwavering. "Marked?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. She nodded, explaining that these shadowy creatures, known as Ayakashi, were drawn to him. They fed on fear and negativity, thriving in the unseen corners of the world. His ability to see them wasn't a coincidence. It was a curse. "But why me?" he demanded. Her expression softened, but she offered no answers. Instead, she handed him a small talisman, its surface etched with strange symbols. "This will protect you for now, but you'll need more than this to survive." The encounter left him reeling. That night, as he lay in bed, he couldn't shake the girl's words. The talisman sat on his nightstand, its glow faint but comforting. His mind raced with questions. Why could he see these creatures? What did the girl mean by marked? And most pressing of all, what would happen next? His thoughts were interrupted by a faint rustling outside his window. Peering through the glass, he saw another Ayakashi lurking in the shadows. It hadn't noticed him yet, but its presence was a stark reminder of the danger he now faced. The next day, he sought out the girl. She reluctantly agreed to teach him how to defend himself. Their training sessions took place in secluded areas, away from prying eyes. At first, he struggled to keep up. Swinging a weapon felt foreign, and his body ached from the effort. But as the days passed, he began to improve. The girl, though tough, was a patient teacher. "Focus," she would say. "Ayakashi are cunning. They'll exploit any weakness." Her words proved true during a surprise attack. Caught off guard, he froze, nearly getting himself injured. But the girl intervened, saving him once again. "You can't hesitate," she scolded. "Hesitation will get you killed." Over time, their uneasy partnership grew into something more. He learned that the girl wasn't as stoic as she seemed. Beneath her tough exterior lay a deep sense of duty and a burden she carried alone. She revealed her own connection to the Ayakashi, one rooted in a painful past she rarely spoke of. Her determination to fight them stemmed from a loss she could never forget. In turn, he shared his fears and doubts. Together they found solace in their shared struggle, their bond growing stronger with each battle they faced. One evening, during a particularly intense training session, the girl's demeanor changed. She seemed more tense than usual, her eyes scanning the surroundings with unease. "What's wrong?" he asked. "The Ayakashi are becoming bolder," she said. "Something is stirring, something big." Her words sent a chill down his spine. The attacks had indeed become more frequent and more coordinated. It was as if the Ayakashi were preparing for something, a larger plan that threatened not just him, but the entire town. Their fears were confirmed during an ambush at the park. Dozens of Ayakashi emerged from the shadows, their forms more menacing than ever. The girl fought valiantly, but the numbers were overwhelming. In the chaos, he was separated from her. Cornered by a particularly large Ayakashi, he felt fear grip him. But then, something within him shifted. For the first time, he tapped into a hidden strength, one he didn't know he possessed. His weapon glowed with an otherworldly light, and with a single strike, he defeated the creature. When the battle ended, the girl approached him, her expression a mix of awe and concern. "You're more connected to this world than I realized," she said. That night, as they rested, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the brink of something much bigger. "What if this isn't just about survival?" he asked. "What if I'm meant to stop them?" The girl didn't answer immediately. Instead, she stared at the stars, her expression unreadable. "If that's true," she finally said, "then you'll need to be ready for what's coming." As they prepared for their next move, a chilling message reached them. A powerful Ayakashi, one unlike any they'd encountered, had been spotted near the town. Its presence was a harbinger of destruction, and its sights were set on him. The girl's eyes met his, her voice steady. "This is just the beginning. Are you ready to face what lies ahead?" He didn't answer immediately, but deep down, he knew there was no turning back. The battle for their world had only just begun.